With temperatures now regularly in the double digits, summer barbecue season has arrived in Manitoba. But if you're going to be grilling steak and hamburgers this year, well, you know that prices are, in some cases, higher than they've been in years past. Joining us now to talk about the state of the beef industry in our province is Carson Callum, the general manager for Manitoba beef producers. Callum, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, maybe you can just tell us, what is the cattle market looking like for producers these days?
Yeah, the outlook's pretty strong, pretty positive. We've had years of, really challenging weather conditions that have led to a bit of an exodus in the sector and kind of guys retiring. But over the last couple of years, we've seen, live cattle prices really improve. And with this, I think the profit outlook is really positive, especially for our cow-calf sector here in the province, that mother cow. So it's really good. We'll see what the weather brings as we get through the production season here, or the growing season in Manitoba, but overall, fairly optimistic.
What are prices looking like for inputs like hay and grain, and is that having any impact on the bottom line?
Yeah, absolutely. Those continue to rise, and whether that's inflationary pressure or trade pressure, it's not easy in the agricultural space. So it's a good thing that the price that we're getting for our product is holding strong, but inputs continue to rise, and that's something that producers continue to deal with, annually.
Well, speaking of trade, Trump's tariffs are still in effect in many areas. Is this having any impact on the Manitoba beef industry?
It was a big worry off the start when some of the, the trade discussions and tariff discussions started to happen. When we think of the beef industry in Manitoba and Canada overall, we're very trade reliant. Over 50% of our product gets exported, and a great portion of that goes to the U.S. The fact that we're in the CUSMA agreement, or the the national agreement that we have with the United States, and we're able to be excluded from that tariff was a positive thing. But the impacts on things like inputs in our sector is still concerning, and can impact the producer's bottom line. But overall, it's good that our product isn't being directly impacted as yet.
Now, from the consumer perspective, do you have a sense for where prices will be going in the near term and looking ahead to the future?
Yeah, it's hard to fully, estimate what that would happen, but I will say it's really a supply issue. We've seen, as I stated earlier, major exodus in the sector, not just in Manitoba, but across Canada, or even across North America, when we look down to the drought conditions that producers have dealt with for years in certain parts of cattle country down in the U.S. So with lower animal numbers, it's really less beef in the marketplace, so less supply. So that's a challenge when we look at consumer pricing. So some of this may stabilize as some of the herd sizes stabilize over the next few years, but it is tough to fully estimate.
I mean, with the lower numbers of producers that are in the marketplace, would you imagine then perhaps that there is an opportunity for more people to enter into the industry?
Yeah, I think with the positive outlook, as I said, lots of optimism in the sector. We're currently the highest farm cash receipts in terms of, commodities here in the province over the last year. So I think that optimism means that there is some opportunity, but the price of live animals is still a barrier to get in if you're new. I could see some guys growing their herds if they're already in the operation. And we just need to see, support systems in place to get some of these young producers that are looking to get in the business, get them thriving.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. Callum, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me.